right, Sherry, thank you so much for allowing me to record this portion of the interview. It's been a pleasure to talk with you and learn a little bit about your experience and the type of work that you've been doing. So why don't you, let's go ahead and walk backwards. Why don't you tell me what you were doing most recently for work, please?
Okay. As of March 27, 2026, that was my last day with Chase Bank in Lake Mary. I was working as a customer service representative with credit cards specifically. So with the credit card division, you're answering inbound calls. It's an 8-hour day and you're answering questions about the product themselves. You're taking payments on the credit cards, answering questions about interest. How is the interest accruing? It's basically assisting any questions that the customer might have nonstop.
All right. So lots of inbound calls. And was that outbound as well?
No, we did not make outbound calls.
Okay. So everything was inbound. About how many calls per day?
It could range. So it depends on which queue you were in. I worked a lot with the self-servicing, the Chase portal. So average 80 calls can be up to 80 to 100 calls per day, depending on which queue you're in.
Yeah, that's a high volume for sure. Okay. And so before that, tell me what were you doing?
Okay. So prior to Chase Bank, I did start with Chase in August of 2022.
Okay.
I was working at MediShare. I did start at MediShare October of 2018. MediShare is a bill sharing ministry. So it's somewhat like insurance, but it's member voted guidelines and as far as what medical bills are eligible for sharing. So with that role came a lot of customer assistance as well. You have customers calling in saying, I'd like to sign up for the program. I'd like to make my monthly share payment. I'm trying to access the portal online. So we spoke with both customers as well as medical providers. Medical providers would mainly call in to notify us of upcoming procedures, any type of inpatient procedures, surgeries, cancer treatments, maternity deliveries, they would notify us of. Also, they would call about medical bills, go over the medical bill for the customer. What's the customer's responsibility? So I did that until 2022. It was a personal choice in leaving MediShare as well. Chase did make more money. So of course that was a driving force, but also my parents had passed away from COVID the year before. And that year was a big year and the customers calling in, is COVID bills eligible for sharing? That was the main question we did receive during that time. And, we had patients calling in from the hospitals and it just got to a point where I felt like, this is personal conflict as well as I was primarily at home. The business was based out of Melbourne. I did work remotely 100%. So I felt like it was a good time to step away and get back into the job environment where it's in office and also was making more pay at Chase. So, but I was there from 2019 to 2022.
Okay, great. And you worked in Salesforce there?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. How are your Excel skills?
Good. So I'm able to navigate. I'm able to fill out a spreadsheet. If you asked me to create a unique format or a new form, I would take me some time. So I don't feel that my skills are expert. It's more beginner intermediate.
Okay, fair enough. All right. And you're in the southern portion of Volusia County, so you could technically go into the Orlando market or stay here in Volusia.
That is correct.
All right, great. I'm going to go ahead and stop this part of the interview, but don't go anywhere. We've got a few more things to chat about.